would say keep an eye out for their upper hit. G2's actually got a fantastic upper execute that can still work wonders at times, but interestingly enough, Faze Clan a couple of months ago had a very similar execute, and that was back in about March, or I'd maybe even go as far as saying April. And because of it, they actually are pretty good at knowing how to deal with it as well. So we'll have to wait to see how things go. Very much a few sets of styles which are quite similar clashing together.
Is this a visual glitch? Why is Rain taking off the suppressor? He's playing this pistol round on hard mode. Amanek, hard fight outside. And Rain gonna be under a lot of pressure here. Door opened and frag found. There's a couple kills for G2 instantly, and they collapse towards the lower site.
Well, with that, Brokey's got a kit, yes, but you've got to get a few kills over here. coldzera even goes for the reload. Jack's right under him, and he's been put into the grave. Oh. Another one comes in, and Amanek and Leeds takes down Kirby. So advantage still maintained by the international roster. Wait, no, G2 Esports rather. Brokey, however, and coldzera coming through with more. Cole's got to go for 4. He does have the kit, and oh my goodness, Cold. What is this?
Okay.
What is this? We've got to get a replay of that.
Faze are really coming to play. Cold is usually the one that's quiet on Nuke, but he gets the ball rolling nice and early. A couple of easy frags underneath, and Kenny reloading at the back of the site, and Brokey just buys enough space. But I mean, that quick adjustment from Cold. You just try to transition, pick up that kit, get on the bomb because it wasn't planted for G2 in that situation, but he goes one further.
Somewhere in the wilderness, a G2 fan cried when he saw that shot. I'm also crying, but it's clear as a joy because coldzera is a joy to watch when he's coming alive like that. Also, it was very cool to see the 400 ADR because you always want to see that coming in. However, now we have to wait to see whether Faze Clan can get past what is considered by many people to be the hardest round in the game to win as the CT side versus the terrorist side that have actually picked themselves up a bomb plant after losing the pistol round. Brokey, scout out the ready. Flashbang will at least force him off, but he's still got a tag nonetheless. Kenny's been tagged up by that one, and now he waits for a secondary player to perhaps come through. They've gone for garage control, not directly down to secret. So Kirby and company were prioritizing the latter. Might be able to come through for a flank, but it still puts a lot of pressure on the Brokey's hands as he will peek out, is spotted as well, doesn't maintain the angle for too long.
He even smokes himself off as well. Doesn't want to take these fights because that's exactly what G2 are hunting for. Approaching down towards lower, and Rain is already flanking outside. Oh, the high ground taken with the MP9. Not exactly favorable in those fights, and Hunter's got enough time to turn around. niko there for trades as he answers back against his cousin.
Still a 3v2, even if the 3 are dangerously low. Brokey. He's going to have to rotate back soon enough. coldzera, generally the defender of the B-bomb site, will now be left on retake duty. Both himself and Brokey will be coming in from opposite directions. Brokey with just a USB pulled out. He knows that they're very low and the duels need to start coming through. At least there's no smokes on the side of Faze Clan, so they can't lock them out of the site. But they can't be locked out of the site, rather. coldzera looking to find something, but that nade travels right through. G2 Esports not revealing anything. Brokey will peek in, can't get the shot initially, and he's been double-ting through a windowsill, so he's still alive, but not for long if he does end up being assaulted. So they back off and will try to save. Nexa in hot pursuit with just a deagle, knows he's likely than not dead anyhow. May as well try and get some damage in as he moves forward, picks up the scout, and he's still fighting for this. coldzera does finish him off, though.
They were so low on G2. Definitely a feasible retake for Faze, but they just don't get the shots to connect. See those kills from niko. Hunter opening up the opportunity for G2 initially. And like you said, a hard round to deal with on the CT side after that bomb plant. So they concede the round, 1-1 a pop. Faze are forced into this, though. They've got deagles around those recovered rifles.
Well, no major surprises over there. Oh, beautiful shot. Kirby's just so good with the deagle today. We saw a few of these on Dustu as well. Now we'll have to wait to see what they can do when Kingdom comes. Hunter creeping in to the ramp room. And with that advantage, they have to be so much more careful, checking every single angle. A single death could be their undoing, and Brokey's looking to deliver more than just one if they start to come over his way. They break the glass, so Brokey knows where they're coming from. Jax takes charge and takes heads. Brokey will fall, but Rain to trade with the Mac 10 that was picked up earlier on. 4v3, no kit. Actually, there is a kit available. coldzera is the one who's wielding it. So he has to be very careful as he will come through. Almanex has been taken out. coldzera's got a man right behind him as well, so the kid can be picked up. Jax has got so much to do over here and very little HP to work with as he's traded away immediately. Hunter now left alone. 1 versus 2. Finds the first. Will peek outwards as well. No bullets in the gun, but he still gets it done. 2 rounds for G2 Esports. They're able to clutch it out.
So patient on the fights for Hunter, just baiting Niko or Kirby into the initial duel, and niko caught in mid-air. It comes so close. G2 getting themselves another round on this T side, and Faze forced to save. They do have a couple of CZs, that can't be scoffed at. These have been pretty dicey rounds altogether. Nexa does hear them rotate through the vent, so a pathway is opened up. Backstab potential. First kill easy. Rain the second, the adjustment made. While niko will eventually track him down. Almanek is there to sweep up the pieces. A quick A-site hit for G2. They don't have the bomb as of yet, but got that firmly in their control.
Shouldn't really be too much of an issue with it. And at the end of the day, it's just a bit of a firing gallery. It is what it is. But I do appreciate the fact that if you look back a couple of rounds, Faze Clan, even when they force spot, or well, kind of force spot around the 2 rifles that they had, they still kept about $500 a pop across the board, and they will be using those right now. Now, whether it's a wise decision to buy head armor on 3 players is something I am more than happy to contest and die on that hill for. I think you need a kit. I think you needed some more flashes, or even a nade wouldn't be bad. This is a very questionable decision for me, but we have to wait to see whether it actually comes into play. Hunter will have immediately gone out to see if there's anyone playing from the corner of garage. He doesn't want to be caught out by the angle that AZ was holding earlier on today in the North series, which is such a strong angle. But we'll have to wait to see how G2 wants to play this. A lot of utility's already been used by Faze, and they've used it to let Brokey get aggressive. So Brokey has got full control of outside. Ramp might be the destination where coldzera lies in wait, but Cole's actually got Kirby right around the corner to help him out as well. Faze have still got a pretty tightly knit grasp of a map control, but with a minute left, G2 are finally starting to chuck out some smokes for outside. Good timing on the Molotov. That'll give them all the information they possibly need, and with that, they'll know that this is actually a fake for the outside play.
Rain close to the smoke, close to door. Nexa head removed. So an advantage now for Faze. The Molotov does force Rain back into that position, but the site execute, it has been telegraphed, but it's actually over towards ramp. So they're toying with the information that Faze have to work off of. Cold working back towards B as they start their progression, but the bombs dropped. That's the first kill, and the rotations are there aplenty. Kenny, all that's left, and it's swept under the rug. Rain with 3 sharp kills. The first, yeah, that's fine. A 1v1 duel, but that rotationary play from him was just so quick that Faze stopped them at B.
Yeah. Well, Faze is still more than happy to keep themselves in the go, but let's not forget, economy is really hurting for them. And Michael, now they're trying to get aggressive and outside, perhaps, and Kirby's already been brought down. Brokey, the peek out will trade, but Nexa's been good for 2 so far, and he's not done yet, potentially. Still full HP, and Almanek is the one to find niko. Niko loves to play inside the garage and around it, but Brokey now has to come out big, but he's just come down. coldzera left alone, 1 versus 4. What can they even do?
Oh? Okay, certainly feasible. He tries to get them as they plant the bomb, but Nexa there to cover. Nexa has been pretty ruthless at door. Sure, he lost a duel a couple of rounds ago. But those two entries over at A apply so much pressure towards Faze. Changes their attention, creates more space for Amanek. He's actually lucky to get away with the first duel, but he makes a fancy play himself.
Yeah.
Faze now on the back burner.
It's interesting to see Kirby actually go for that play. It's one he's stopped going for as much now that he's in Faze Clan. Back when North, that used to be one of his favorite plays to go try to play around the red container smoke and stuff as well. He was fantastic on that on North, but again, I'm thinking back to like early 2020, so I'll have to forgive my memory in case I've made a mistake there. However, G2 Esports, they do not want to make any mistakes. They're playing it as slow as any other round has been so far. I know how deadly the Eagles can be on the other side. They've fallen. Oh my goodness, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Kenny S will fall by the wayside. niko to deliver a quick little 1D to the skull, and now niko's waiting for them to start coming in. Nexa, Moldo with fake vents, niko and Rain fighting away. niko, the only one to survive for now, but Kirby's found yet another. Keeps it competitive as niko peeks out, gets another, and Cole's still fighting. It's a 1v1. Amanek is very low with 20 HP, and that's all he's got to his name. Cole doesn't even stop to pick up a gun. He goes straight back towards Amanek's position, and now that the bomb's been planted, Cole knows that Amanek can rotate back towards the double doors, but instead, he's playing this very, very smart. He's going to start coming in from the double doors directly to make sure that the angle is perfectly clear. Now, he doesn't have the kit, so he has to go for a 10-second defuse, and Amanek should not lose this round under any normal circumstance, but this is not normal. This is abnormal. Cole has given up his chance of actually winning this round. Yeah. Instead, he's going for the damage. If he can get the skill, that's still massive, and he sees it. He gets the AK, and he backs off. That's a huge round coming through from Faze Clan because G2 Esports' economy is going to be put under so much more stress if they lose the next round because of what Cole just did there.
And you're absolutely right in making that call. Cold knew that he wasn't going to win the round. With Amanek playing a very patient game, just forcing Cold to tap or try and fight from decon. He forces him to go the long way around. And so 0% chance in getting the kill and the defuse alongside it unless Cold started making noise on the rotation. Like you said, money in a tight spot here for G2. A very dicey frag for Nexa to open things up.
Smoke to go out from Nexa. Not from Nexa, rather. To stop Nexa. But... So I'm very curious about when Faze Clan actually start to maybe... use Brokey a little bit more aggressively, and that's what I'm talking about. It is, of course, after niko's death does come in, so still some truth to what we talked about earlier. But we'll have to wait to see what he can get done in this position. Smoked off at the garage. Does have a player coming in to back him up, perhaps from Secret. That's Rain, who was there earlier on at least. But the question is, when that smoke dissipates, is Brokey ready to try and maybe go for the flank? He's heard them drop down, giving away the information. And instead, it's all down to Rain and Kirby. Over towards this crossfire that they've set up. Rain's waiting to be the first point of contact. Kirby might instead choose to do just that. Two beautiful lineups, and Rain will peek right out for Amanek to decapitate him. Brokey, in the meanwhile, had found Nexa, who was trying to get cheeky right back at him. Amanek still jiggle peeking, and he will fall. Brokey, fantastic play, but Kirby's the one who really saves the day there.
Yeah, there are two things that really get me going. Lineups, insta headshots. That's what this series has delivered. And Kirby lining them up on the push. Exactly what FaZe ordered. Exactly what they need to start getting more rounds on the CT side. G2 have been doing a good job of finding and creating space individually. Even in rounds where they have tactically not looked their best, even when they've tried to go for more of an execute style or faking things out, FaZe have hit some really solid timings in terms of deploying a Molotov to counteract any sort of presence outside. But still, G2 have been able to get some successful rounds chained together on this T side. But we talked about the money. We talked about how precarious a spot it was placed in by the decision-making in a 1v1 by Cold. And it's coming through. You can see Hunter, the only one that's bought into a rifle. Everybody else on pistols for G2.
Oh, absolutely. And Michael, this is so risky. This is so dangerous for the side of G2. Because sure, you're up 5-2 and 5-3 round, then that's a very respectable scoreline to be at with 5 rounds on the T side. But ideally, in a situation like this, you want to get away with at least 7 or so. But Hunter's been boosted up. Kirby is expecting it, and Rain will get another one. G2 Esports are down 3 versus 5, and let's not forget, this is their 4th spy. This is something they're fighting for, and Brokey and coldzera will make sure that there is not a single casualty on the CT side in terms of early exchanges. Jax, maybe he can change that mid-round. Maybe he can get a quick little deagle kill. And he will be given the chance, but he can't capitalize it. He's turned around, gets one onto Kirby. Still, 4th round on the board for Faze Clan. Still not a fantastic loss bonus from G2 Esports. This could be a train that just keeps on going.
Yeah, and like you were saying, 5 rounds on the T side, that's an acceptable scoreline in and of itself. Even if things do round out well for FaZe, it should be enough wiggle room moving into the second half that G2 can still have a very successful CT side. I think it's actually where they thrive more so on NUKE. This depends in the manner that they get there. If FaZe start to bring all that momentum, if they start and clear out the rest of this half with a successful CT, momentum's a hell of a thing. Confidence goes alongside it.
And look, for either one of these teams, these matches are incredibly important. For Faze Clan, as Brokey will find another kill on the Jax. For Faze Clan, North is right behind them, and North has already guaranteed themselves a better place in than if they lose right now. So you've got to start wondering, do we have the chance to keep ourselves up ahead in RMR points? For Faze Clan, that means invites for them to further RMR tournaments. For G2 Esports, right now, they're ranked number 2, I believe, in the RMR standings. And if there's a roster move that ends up happening, as is rumored, you're falling down a lot. So those extra 400 points you can get right now, that means you're still staying around in the top 5, top 6 mark. Remember, Astralis will already confirmed a roster move as well. There's a couple of other teams that might tentatively have one too. So those 400 points are going to be a pretty big difference maker in the grand scheme of things. So, you know, both these teams are trying their hardest to just keep themselves in this, keep themselves up and afloat, and try and fight for that 9th place.
Well, niko's being a bit tricksy outside. Had the position behind red container. Trying to see if there's any real substance to this outside pressure for G2. There is a player close by. That's niko. Now a second batch of utility deployed. niko calling their bluff. And Cold with this advanced position towards ramp. Oh, they're pulling out utility. They're pulling out nades, and they don't clear it. Cold lining up to Kenny there to trade things out. But G2 on the back burner. Hunter trying to get something back. The kill on Rain. Still a numbers advantage held by the CT side. And that Molotov stops them from progressing any further. Now they'll investigate the opportunity over at A.
And as they investigate, Kirby will do the same. He's found himself one, and Hunter left alone. 1 versus 3. Bomb on his back, yes, but what can he even do with it? 25 seconds. He hears the footsteps of players all around him. Should be able to get the bomb plant down safely at the very least. Gives himself a bit of a chance, but needs to hit the instant tap as he turns around, dodges the flash, moves in back towards decontamination, peeks out, and Kirby is ready to intercept. That will be the 6th round guaranteed from Faze Clan, and although G2 Esports have some comfort in the fact that they get a bomb plant down and they get some more money out of it, it's still not a great place to be economically.
Just not clearing the angle. That is so unfortunate for G2, but it's initiative taken by Cold in the early round that goes to punish. Timeout Cold. Starting well on this T side, but not having that substance behind it to go much further, especially without the economy to back it. We haven't seen Kenny S on an AWP. Sure, it's Nuke T side. There's pros and cons that come with it. You often have to play a slower style. And while G2 have been sort of waiting these rounds out, buying or delaying pretty heavily into the rounds, it does feel like such a shame to not see him in positions or even attempting to find form on the AWP. He started the map 3 and 9.
Especially because he's also one of the players who can actually do it on the B side. Jax, though, seems like he might have in his mind a bit of a faster paced play, but the Molotov there and his own team still a little bit far behind him, it seems like that wasn't entirely the plan. It goes out. G2 could just go for late outside smokes, which is something they have so far shown many indications of liking to do. Kirby. Kirby's got a lot of very good information for his team already, actually, and as they line up the late outside smokes, you've also got to keep in mind Niko's playing from down and lower. Brokey's watching for the crossover, so although he's been smoked off initially, if there's any stragglers left behind, he'll be able to support Niko. So if you can get a Molotov down, which might be the case as Brokey actually flashes for Niko to peek out, this could be big. Now, it does look to be an A-side setup, but the smoke comes in towards heaven. Brokey will be forced off as well, and they start to explode in. Kirby, AK at the ready, but the trade happens outside. Niko finds the first while being traded away, but he also gets information on the bomb, and they know it's a duel for outside, but Hunter's missed his shots, and his chance to take down Brokey.
Nexa, though, he's crept in through ramp. He's potentially backstabbing in towards hell, and there it is. The AWP recovered. Great timing on the flank there from Nexa. He heard the rotation from Cold towards the lower side. It's a double bluff, a double pump at that for G2. And now they have a significant man advantage. 2 men up, Rain isolated on the site and set up in a crossfire where G2 were always going to come out on top. Now it's just Cold. A clutch on his hands, 3 players to find. And they have the high ground. They have some advantages now moving into this post plant.
Very, very difficult. Cold, even for him to go for this is up for question, but when it's a player like Cold, you don't question it at all. If they start to move into him, he's more than happy to find one and back off if it's too late. Otherwise, he can go for it. And with some information garnered, it seems like he'd rather prioritize even damage than anything else. Cold has so far shown us so many instances where he's gone for that decision. And he does take down one player, which will not be entirely unimpactful, but you've also got to keep in mind CT economy is not infallible. They've got plenty of money, yes, Michael, but you'll lose another round, maybe 2 rounds. That last round of the half is going to be looking mighty tough to actually sneak away.
Yeah, I think there was actually a window of opportunity in that clutch for Colt to sneak a defuse because they were running away. They weren't clearing his angle. Not a chance that was explored. Just a neat little tidbit. Like you said, the money hangs in the balance. Neither side has gotten too much bank left over should they lose this round. Clean affairs are what they're looking for. And I will say, FaZe have been doing a really good job of getting Niko into strong positions outside. He has held on to information for long periods of times, especially because G2 play this slower game. It's often not cleared out until late into the rounds.
Look at his positioning. This is going to be huge. Brokey's even firing away shots in the darks to see if he can distract them for a while. Amanek doesn't check this angle properly, but will he come back for it? Amanek will go down. Niko's just holding the angle. Niko's waiting around, and he has to be careful for more players, but he's got the information of just one so far. He's surely got to go for it, and he will spray Amanek down. Kirby has got the information that this is going to be an upper hit. And as Amanek has fallen, there's 35 seconds left on the clock. Niko trades away range life as well. Kirby still fighting. Kirby not found. And Kirby to get 2. Kenny alone in a 1 versus 4 will have to move back and save his AWP. There is no way he can actually get this done with 20 seconds and no bomb.
And we finally got Kenny on the AWP, but it's a round in which G2 have some missed opportunities. Again, uncleared angles. Sure, it's an isolated player outside. It's a tall order to ask for him to be as meticulous as that when there are so many more troublesome duels when you're approaching outside in that manner.
There's
that
also
all?
to consider that there was some
Lost.
miscommunication going on there as well, Michael. If you actually, I hope that we get to see Kirby's 2K as well over here. Yeah, so Kirby gets his first kill, and the second player isn't even actually checking his angle initially. He's instead hard clearing first. And look, maybe that's just a protocol. Maybe they think there's a player there, but to me, that also says there's a significant possibility that there is miscommunication happening in the G2 camp. Something we did definitely see on Dust 2 as well.
While I don't think it's miscommunication so much so as perhaps incorrect timings on the entry, I do definitely harp on that same sentiment. It does feel like G2 have had some communication issues in this series so far, at least from what we can infer from Dust 2. That felt more so a lack of timings or hitting improper timings, because the secondary player isn't really there to trade. I think is more so there to clear the site and clear the box position outside of the hut, as opposed to equalizing the affair. But anyway, we're getting into the theory now.
Oh, Kirby's position is big, but Rain is bigger than life itself. Finds himself 2, niko with 1, and it will just be a quick little affair. Faze Clan running away with plenty of guns kept alive as well. They'll have a great economy moving forward and a chance to make this a 9-6. Now, G2 Esports have one last chance to fight for 7, but a 9-6 is a great half to end on. However, maybe not if you consider the way they started.
I will say I like the idea there for G2. They played the rounds out so slowly throughout this half. They tried to go for something a little bit quicker. Although it doesn't work out, maybe that follows through into the next round. Last round of the half, rifles out in spades here for G2. Flashes lined up, but not being capitalized or used. Just applying pressure over towards A. Cold, gonna be a little bit pressured, and Hunter bests niko.
Kenny, in the meanwhile, does find Brokey as well, leaving it just on a Cold while Rain will fall. A faster round, but one that comes out on top of G2 Esports has put coldzera in a 1 versus 5. Now, a minute and 10. Kid is there, yes. No utility, sure, but Cole's going to start moving in. Maybe he can pick up a couple of kills at the very least. Does find one more. He's been fantastic so far. 17 and 5 so far. Can he make it 21? Peeks out wide, and Kenny's there. And a smoke. Well, Faze Clan have gone for 2 sets of utility. I'm T-Town. I'm joined by Michael Yumi Cassidy, bringing you the second half. And we'll have to wait to see whether G2 can actually close out what starts off being quite a good T side.
Yeah, we start to see a little bit of a resurgence towards the middle here for Faze, but G2 have changed the pace. They've had a different stance the past couple of rounds. Fast play here from Faze. They collapse on the A bomb site. There's nobody there. Nobody even close for G2. So a full 5-on-5 retake. They don't have a flash here on the CT side. I am a little worried for them.
This will be so tough for them. Smoke does go out back towards Squeaky. Actually, no. Interesting smoke actually comes through, but Kirby's found himself 1, and Rain's made it 2 and 3 for him. 4th even comes in, but it's coldzera who's actually stolen that one. 9th round on the board for Faze Clan. A very convenient little round to start things off with.
Yeah, and that's what had me worried. You play retake A, you get called out, Faze take the site quickly, you need a flash. You see, quite often we'll see teams position a player deep towards heaven or towards hell, lining up that flash for the retake. But that just wasn't an availability. It wasn't an option for G2. That one smoke was all they had, and it did very little to stop Faze Clan in their pursuit. Kenny starts the round hot. Nice D. And still pressure being applied. He gets a secondary kill as well. So that's a weapon that could be recovered later on. Sure, it's just an SMG, but importantly, numbers advantage here for G2.
And where Faze have started off the half very nicely, G2 are more than happy to bring it right back to them. Now, niko's still alive, and that means anything's possible as Amanek finds that very fact out. Been tagged up pretty heavily. Kenny S. On that deagle has found 2 kills so far. No reason to switch away from it, even if there is a recoverable Mac 10 and ramp room. It's just too much risk to actually go for. Faze Clan. 2 smokes, so if you want to go for a bit of an outside play, maybe just fake something out, chuck a smoke back towards the lockers and see if you can go for heaven control. It's all doable. Now, Question is, how do they actually go around making it work when Kenny is continually shoulder peeking outwards and going for the spot? So instead, they go inside mini. About 38 seconds on the clock, and Kirby over towards lobby. This might be the great play for them to make. Rain and niko leading the charge. Kenny soon to peek. Kenny not able to get it as Rain will cut him right down out of heaven. Rain will start to move through. Niko's cleared out all the angles. Kirby looking to be the late hit. Instead, Niko and Rain have both found one apiece, and Nex has come in from behind. Beautiful second shot as well. Now, 1 versus 2. Niko has got 10 seconds and an AK in his face. Will say he's got 0 seconds. Time runs out, and G2 Esports will be the victors of that round.
Oh my god. What has Nexa just done? Up the ladder. First kill, fine. But the second on Rain is disgusting as well. What a way to rebound after the quick collapse of the A site in the pistol. Nexa doing a lot of work. It all started with Kenny, but he's the closer.
Well, Niko is going to be close to some flame, apparently, as he moves in. Nex has been acquainted with his old friend. And with that, Nex has been brought down immediately. M4 at the ready. Good luck rotating down vents when you're face off against that particular player. Jax, in the meanwhile, has got plenty of information and a teammate to come through and help him out. Jax is waiting for them to actually push forward, but decontamination's been open. Jax has got one. Jax can't get the second. Rain, while fully blind, gets one, and Kenny can't reveal his position, so he doesn't dare fire out while flashed, leaving just Almanac and Hunter. It's been a brawl so far, and Faze Clan will be happy to punch right back. Hunter still wants to come in. He's defending, but can't get it done. Brokey's been damaged, but not killed. Almanac 1 versus 4 in a position where he's too deep to back off. He can't try and save the pummels, and he knows it. Has to go straight in. Has to find the kills. Has to find the clutch. And as he peeks out, he's revealed his position. They're fighting away. coldzera peeks out secondarily, and they've got the kill and the round with it. 10-8. What a play from Niko. Nexa was just caught with his pants down and a smoke in his hands.
And they break through that crossfire. It starts with that initial frag for the CT side towards the double doors, and it just compounds out of control. Overextension. When they have that firm crossfire setup, you wanted to fight for control instead. And it is a brawl. It is back and forth to start the second half. Kind of reminiscent of how things started in the first half as well. We saw a couple clutches, some really close rounds to start. It's back and forth we go, atop the seesaw. Deeper outside smokes this time for Faze. Niko trying to accomplish some more space instead towards Garage. Kenny S on the other side of the smoke, head down, trying to dodge flashes that aren't going to come as of yet. All about the timing here for Kenny.
Well, that flash might never come at this rate. Kenny, he's just turning around, but what a first kill. Cole to fall, Niko to fall low. And with this, Hunter on the CZ has been given a real chance to start taking some lobby control now that he knows that there are 2 or more players on outside. So playing from inside hut makes it a bit more risky if you want to go for a late round lobby pincer, with Kirby leading the charge from inside the lobby itself. Kirby realizes that he'll back off instead. Faze Clan have descended down into secret. Kirby will be watching their backs to see if he can find anyone near mini. But maybe more important than anything else, it's Nexa on the deagle. Peeks out. What a player this guy is. Doesn't even need to stop and aim. He just gets it anyway. 3 versus 4. Doors being opened and shut. Brokey just getting some information for himself, but as he peeks out, has to be careful for Hunter, who's crept in right behind him. And the second Hunter peeks out, he's found the bomb planter. Can't get the kill though. Brokey's still alive. They're fighting away. Niko will fall to Jax's USP. Jax peeks out with the XM1014, and he's been brought down. Rain now fighting back, but he can't fight hard enough. And it all comes down to the fact that Kirby goes down to Nexa. With that, that's all she wrote.
Jeez, this battle of attrition early. I think Faze might have to tap out now. Their money's not in a great spot. I mean, I know that, I know they got the bomb plant, but it has to stop somewhere.
Gasp.
Yeah, okay. So they do make that choice. Their money wasn't in the best of spots. They couldn't really afford up the premium rifles. It would be one player at best, maybe two, if they committed those rifles over to players that bought armor. And not to be. Brokey, 1 kill over towards the ramp. So the rifle has been recovered.
Oh no.
Niko can find a kill here
Oh
with the
no.
Glock.
Oh no.
Days.
Burst fire, Niko. That's not allowed, Niko. Come on, guys. Gotta be a little bit more polite than that. You can't just straight burst fire someone.
So the issue for FaZe is that the bomb is dropped outside the vent. Rain tried to get down early. He was dispatched up rather quickly. It's left FaZe in a bit of a precarious spot. Sure, they have the numbers advantage.
See, Michael, the real issue for FaZe is that they didn't force buy here.
Potentially.
They're working an AK with that armor, but maybe it can still get some work done. Armor neck, very difficult angle for this position for the lack of armor. Now Niko's got to find someone, and as he's been revealed, how are you peeking that Niko even gets a dink? What's wrong with you, Niko? He's just coming in, and Amanek and Nexa will save the day, but Niko's still alive and kicking with just a Glock. He's given himself a chance for a 4K. 30 seconds, bomb's been planted, everything's gone wrong. Armanek's the only one with HP. Nex is literally on 1 point of HP. There's nothing he can do, and they've made the right decision. They're coming in from decontamination, but Niko, does he realize his door's open, peeks out, beautiful stuff. Niko is a god at this game. He starts with a Glock and ends with an AK.
Oh my God.
What a way to do it. He's gone full guns deal, man. What is this game? What is this game?
God. How does he get 2 kills with a Glock and then do that? They don't need the force buy, apparently. The save from FaZe. It's not even the upgraded pistols that get the most kills. It's a Glock.
I don't know, man. This is... Yeah.
Jesus.
I like it. That's what it is. That's what I know. That's all I know, okay? If you want to keep getting those Glock kills, keep going for it, Niko. I believe in you.
So, I mean, that war of attrition that started out early, FaZe take the more conservative approach. They still answer back. And G2, they have to force buy. That CT side economy is so much more difficult to get things established if you're not winning consecutive rounds. They've got a FAMAS, they've got a couple M4s, but it's pistols. And Armanek's going to try and close that gap with a 5-7 in hand as they make fast work outside. Armanek finding it kill.
Are you kidding me?
He gets 3! Oh my God, this entire half has been so chaotic. Kirby, 1 versus 3.
Right, well, Kirby's gonna peek out. Maybe he can get this done. I don't even know what's going on at this point. Tries to fake out the tiny little ladder pop, but Kirby's gonna be peeking out. Hunter right around the corner with the M4A1. Not really the gun you want to have in this spot, but Jax is... Okay, so I don't know much about Counter-Strike, but last I checked, when you have a sidearm, and that is a pistol for those of you who don't know what a sidearm is, you're not supposed to win every round. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe there's a new update, but we're about to find out. There's a lot of Glocks in AWP in Niko's hands, and there are questions in my head.
Well, the question may be answered. Niko, the hero, meets a very untimely end. It does make its way into Brokey's hands instead. Free ult. No problem. Thank you very much, Niko. I like this strat.
Look, we all know the real deal is that a picked up AWP is more powerful than a bot AWP, so Brokey might still be able to
be made.
Indeed. That is a blood sacrifice made for an op, and that means it's so much more powerful. Brokey is about to demonstrate the sheer might of it very soon. He's scoped in. Amanek on the other side. Fantastic 5-7 run. Can he replicate with an AK-47?
Ooh.
But it's Kenny S who's actually been tagged up right now. Next up, inside mini. Kirby is looking to swing right out onto him. And next has got the M4A4, not the AK-47. Keep that in mind. So an instant headshot goes a long way. The rain. He's got the angle, but not the kill. Armanek will come out on top while Broky's found one. Broky's still fighting away. Nexa gets another in the meanwhile and a third. So finally, we have sanity. Finally, we have a pistol buying team losing the round. So make of that what you will. Maybe we're back to normal Counter-Strike. Maybe.
Maybe. Just maybe. Of course, with niko being the only one that invests in that round, it's a buy here from Faze. niko makes that sacrifice. It only gets one kill from it. We'll see if G2 restore a little bit more level-headedness, more sanity. Nexa punishing Kjerby for trying to go through the smoke in at door. So Faze will start on the back foot. niko's trying to get his hands on that rifle. He's the only one that's been shortchanged in this round, but was a little bit far. He does extend his arms outwards to acquire it.
Jackson, meanwhile, very good off angle held for the one and done. He's more than happy to let himself die as long as he can just get one singular kill in this spot. He knows that with the numbers advantage he already have, the information that he can glean will allow for a rotation to come through. But the more important point is Kenny on the other side is supporting him. So suddenly this one and done becomes a very deadly little spot for him. Flash trying to go out from Kenny S. And as he rotates backwards, he's still waiting. Bree peeks in, Rain. What a untimely peek for him as well. Kenny's secondary flash comes through. And it's Jax to peek out off the back of it. Two-man lineup gets them both. niko left alone gets two as well. Is this a 1v5 attempt to come through? If there's anyone to do it, it would be niko. He's looking to jump down quickly. Lots of time to get the bomb plant in before they start to rotate over, but he's thinking against it. niko moving back 20 seconds. He's waiting to see what the CTs want to get done over here, but he might have waited too long. With this, the smoke will be dissipating soon enough. 10 seconds on the clock, and he's going to go for the bomb plant. Will fake it out initially, waiting for a peek from decontamination. Now he's got no choice but to stick for it. Armanek peeks out, and it will take him down. Really nice round from Armanek over there as well. If he'd actually taken the peek, Armanek goes down 100%.
Yeah, really solid patience there from G2. Jax getting those initial kills, and while it's niko in the clutch, they only rotate one player towards the lower site. He's there to listen for information. Is he tapping the bomb? He has to, because while that smoke's down, that's his best window of opportunity to do so. And they call niko's bluff. So a couple rounds, or a few now in a row for G2 on these rifles. And Jax, with those kills in the past round, trying to mimic its success. Very sharp opening duel. Of course, it is just pistols here for Faze, so nothing to write home about, I hope. I'm trying to restore some level of sanity. I try to go back through the motions. Pistols, no. Rifles, yes. It's a rule I hope is maintained for the rest of this game. It was such a scrappy start to the second half.
Well, Jax is about to find out whether rifles, yes or not, and indeed, yes, 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 yes.
Oh.
Jax has got it all. Nice little ace as well. Just to put the cherry on top. Sure, it's an anti-eco, but we take those while we're here.
Add it to the tally. Another one for the DreamHack Open full. And Jax is just so patient on those duels. That will be maybe something we harp on as we go through this CT side for G2. Patience. Don't get over flustered and confused by what Faze are presenting.
Well, that's not confusion. That's just Hunter dominating his cousin. niko goes down. Jax will follow, though. And Brokey to be the one to decapitate him immediately on the entry and get the second using the Molotov. Hunter was already down to 5 HP after the duel with niko. And Next has been tagged up in the meanwhile. Secondary molly is good because it means the Heaven players have no support from Mini. Armanek will fall. Read smoke from Brokey. And suddenly the CT players have got to save. What a round from Brokey. He does it all on his own.
Yeah, he gets gifted one of these frags, but the double entry towards A. Okay, Nexa, knife out. Kjerby is facing him.
I mean, that is... I've
heard
to
reestablish our rules. Let's reestablish our rules here. Rifle's good. Pistol's bad. Knives really, really bad.
Oh, really? I mean, that's not how the CS Steam market works.
It's not how the kill bonuses work either, to be fair.
That's true.
But...
Exactly. So we're going where knives great, pistols okay, rifles eh. However, we've got to find out whether the rifles on either side can actually contend with each other. Faze Clan, full buy, full utility. coldzera is the only one wanting for anything. That is a Molotov. But look at this. Immediately, Nexa on outside, looking to get aggressive. niko right around the angle is expecting it, and he will get the kill with the shadow advantage as well. 5 versus 4. Amanek waiting for the first through, finds a bomb and another. Hunter, meanwhile, right around the corner, is looking for a 2K, but it's Kirby left alone as Kenny S will take away niko's life as he drops down. Kirby peeks out, finds one more, and it's a 1v1 with 1:20. The world is his oyster. And Jax, well, he might just be the pearl to be popped open and put on a necklace. Kirby trying to play around with him, trying to play the mind games. The 1v1 will ensue, but Jax might still be able to come out on top of it here. Very nice little angle for information. He can duck into a corner on the left side to force Kirby back, or to force Kirby to make a decision. But Kirby, I mean, you talked about patience. Look at this from him. There's no one who knows patience like a man who is on the North roster. He's waiting for a peek, a push, any sort of information given away. Might even be thinking of going all the way over to hell. And if he does that, then you know he's caught out Jax. Jax gone back towards the B bomb site. Who's outplaying who over here is the question. It seems like they're both running around in circles without being able to find each other. Jax all too far away. Kirby will have to drop down and get the bomb plant in now that he realizes there's no one over in heaven. Jax is now starting to trail back as well. He's double thinking it, and Kirby with the Molotov will jump down, gets a bomb plant, but when he damages himself, he puts himself in one-shot territory, and that could be significant. Jax has an incendiary of his own, so Kirby's position is a very, very touchy one. And as Jax will start to make his way over, does he use the Molotov where we think he might? That's the question. He does have it, but he doesn't want to use it. He drops down. It's not silent, and Kirby's got it done. The 1v2 goes his way, and after a series of circles that they have both ran around each other, Kirby will still come out on top.
So many options, so many possibilities for Kirby. He plays the time. He uses it. Circumstances we had at the start of the half. These anti-ecos can be so difficult to crack. And while it's not, by all technicalities, an eco round here for G2, they hold on to enough money that they can afford up rifles in the next, with Jax on an auto shotgun and pistols to boot.
This is 2020. This is basically an eco round. So, Booth comes out initially. Jax will be taking a very forward-facing angle. It'll allow Nexa maybe a little bit more room if Brokey wants to start moving in, but with space gained inside secret, it seems like there's no real rhyme or reason to try and pressure ramp. Instead, they will be going for a later on a lobby pinch. Smokes will come through to smoke off Squeaky for now, but Faze Clan seems like they found some damage onto Kenny. Not quite sure where that came from, to be perfectly honest. Might have just been a wallbang. But Kenny, he's now waiting with the deagle for them to come over. coldzera, he's going to be able to find the timing. Kenny reveals himself, and he's trying to get a wallbang as well. Still alive, but not for long. coldzera will remove him from the heavens and block him down to hell.
Ooh, good timing there for Hunter. That's a rifle that can be recovered. The site's been taken by Faze, but equal numbers as they move on in. See if this could compound here for Hunter. Kirby holding the door angle, waiting for the push, but he spots the head. He's taken off the angle. Jax trying to get something accomplished, trying to create some space, and Nexa is the one to plug that gap. Still on for this retake, but niko creeping through the smoke catches them out, and they knew where Jax was. They knew that he was towards the vent, so he makes a long rotation. And with an XM, a 1v3, these long-range fights, a 14th for Faze, guaranteed.
Oh god, that fight's not going to be won by an XM, Jax. I'm sorry to break that one to you. Flashbang there as well as a spam, but 14 to 13, Faze Clan are 1 round away from sealing the deal. G2 Esports do not have the money to fully buy up with all their players having incendiaries unless they sacrifice and go for a farmers right now. You can see these kills from niko. He's just picture
had so few opportunities rather for Kenny to get the AWP.
That's true.
That's a testament to just how, yeah, the economy has been really messed up, especially with the way this half started. There haven't been too many open doors for him to get his hands on that rifle.
Faster playing outside to see if he can get some control. niko has found some frags over here in the past, but it's Nexa who he's fighting up against, who's so far been the best player on G2 this map. Armanek, meanwhile, not too far behind. We'll find another one. He's been great with stopping power on the A-bomb side. Very good anchor that he has been. niko, though, immediate trade comes out on another side of the map. It's a 4v4 and back to it, but Faze Clan have used up all of their utility. G2 are surprisingly the ones who've got utility for the late round.
Playing it slow. It's a game of information, really, for either side. Amanek finding a frag. He's doubled up for this round. Kjaerbye does get one back. He's taken a lot of damage. niko spotted out, but Kjaerbye gets another. He was on 9 HP for the duel, but he's found an advantage, though it's only short-lived. 2v2. A bomb site open for business. Rotation coming in for Kenny. And he's hoping to catch the timing. He descends, and Kenny dies to the circumstances. Tag damage from Kjaerbye and the fall, so it's just a Jax and a clutch.
1 versus 2. Kjaerbye is low, but Cold is the one to be worried about. Great crossfire they've got for themselves, but Jax will be able to isolate the first duel at the very least. Kjaerbye's not expecting this, and he will be going down initially. Jax doesn't have a kit, though. He knows he needs to be fast, and he gets it done. Jax will be able to defuse the bomb out. It'll be cutting it very, very close, but Faze Clan, they end up giving away a 2 versus 1 they thought they had in the bag. They were taking their money and going to the bank with it, but G2 Esports are still somehow in this game.
You talk about worse for wear, but that is significant. What a performance there from Jax, playing out the angles and immediately trying to clear the next. As soon as his position's given up, doesn't want to allow Cold to reposition. And they tie us up. That money for FaZe, it meant that Brokey had to invest in an SMG for this round. What could ultimately be the deciding moment. Neither side has funds.
niko really would like to start stepping up at this particular time. He's got 127 ADR. It's insanity. But Faze Clan, this time around, they've slowed things down significantly more. No utility used early on. At least no Molotovs used too early on. And Kjaerbye's got the angle and the kill. Jax will fall. This time he aggresses forward a little bit too much, a little bit too early on. Kjaerbye will get the better of him. And with that said and done, it'll be 5 versus 4 for Faze Clan to try and work around. With still 4 Molotovs in their possession, it's so difficult for G2 to actually defend this. It all comes down to what Nexa can do over here.
He has been the man for G2, the reliable one. 24 kills so far, and he spots out the head. Down towards B, they descend, and Brokey and Rain hit the deck. Nexa to frag, and he lines them up! What a turnaround there from Nexa. Back against the wall, no support, and he deals with the B push for FaZe single-handedly.
I said it was all up for Nexa. Now it's Kjaerbye's time to see if he can shine. Turns out it's a little bit hard to do that when you're standing next to the sun, and Kjaerbye is slowly burning away. 15 seconds on the clock. No money in their pockets. Faze Clan, at the worst possible time, have capitulated. They will be down 14 to 15, and Kjaerbye knows he has to save. His AK will be one of the few weapons they can actually have as they go into the next one. And I'm sure we'll catch a replay on that soon, because
oh my God,
what a play. I mean, these 2 kills are beautiful, but the next 2 turns around straight to the skull, straight to the dome with a double lineup. It's not even a collateral. He's not having any of that. He just gets a 6 straight. That's perfect.
Oh, that's so disgusting. as well in a crucial moment for G2. Look at what Faze have brought to the round. 2 rifles, 3 pistols. Sure, they've got a whole lot of utility that surround it. But this could just force that map 3. That could be the play that does it. We've had so many interesting plays. I'll leave it at just that word. And Faze, can they pull something off here? We've seen a troublesome, winding road for both of these sides in the second half.
And Faze, they've seen so much success with these pistols, but it seems like this is the time where it is less and less likely that they are likely to succeed. Faze are congregating around the A bomb site. They look to be going for a late round execute with a few god flashes. 45 seconds. Kirby's going to be leading the charge with the AK-47. coldzera might have called for Rain to go in first, so Rain with the Eagle goes in first. Rain goes forward. Hunter will find him. Kirby to get one, but traded immediately. 3v4, and the CTs keep fighting. Brokey and niko. Now niko finds one. Pulls out the Deagle. Can't get it done. Brokey left alone in a 1v2. Peeks out again, and he's got one, but not the second. G2 Esports get themselves 16.